Hello! We're excited to show you our native speech capabilities. Welcome back to the English journey. Today, we are stepping into our time machine to talk about the past. I'm Anna.
And I'm Abel. To know where you are going, you have to know where you've been. Today we're making the past tense easy and natural.
That's right, Abel. And if you are new here, welcome. This channel is your home for real, natural English, not textbook English, real English, the kind people actually use every day. So sit back, relax, and let's travel back in time together.
I love this topic, Anna, because every time I open my mouth to talk about something that happened to me, a funny story, a memory, a trip I took, I need the past tense. It comes up constantly.
Constantly. And for our beginners watching right now, here is the good news. The past tense in English is actually one of the most learnable things in the whole language. Once you understand the system, you will feel so much more confident.
And there is a system, right? It's not random.
Exactly. There is a system. Most verbs follow a very simple rule, and we're going to start right there. But first, Abel, can you tell our viewers why talking about the past even matters so much in conversation?
Oh, great question. Think about it. Almost every real conversation involves the past. Someone asks you, "How was your weekend?" Past tense. "Where did you grow up?" Past tense. "What did you have for lunch?" Past tense. You can't really connect with people in English without it.
So well said. Every story you tell, every memory you share, every experience you describe, past tense. Okay, let's get into it. Segment 1. I love calling this one the regular past, the ED rule.
The ED rule. Okay, so this is the first thing most beginners learn, right? You add ED to a verb.
That's it. That is the core idea. If a verb is what we call a regular verb, you simply add ed to the end to make it past tense. Let me give you 3 everyday examples. The verb walk. Every day I walk to the coffee shop, but yesterday I walked to the coffee shop. Hear that? Walk, walked.
Walk, walked. The ED is just added right on the end.
Right. Second example, the verb cook. I cook dinner on Sundays, but last Sunday I cooked a big pasta dinner. Cook, cooked.
I love pasta. I cooked pasta last week too, actually. Cook, cooked.
And our third example, play. The kids play in the park, but yesterday the kids played in the park. Play, played. So, walked, cooked, played. Add ed and you have the past tense.
It sounds so simple when you say it like that. But Anna, I remember when I was learning, I got confused because walked doesn't sound the same as played, like the ending sounds different.
Oh, you have just walked us right into the most important detail of the regular past tense. And this is where I want our beginners to really pay attention, because this is something a lot of courses skip. The ed ending in English has 3 different sounds. Not 1, 3.
3 sounds. Okay, can you break them down?
Absolutely. Sound number 1 is the t sound, like a soft T. This happens after verbs that end in what we call a voiceless sound, like K, P, S, CH, SH. So walk ends in a K sound, and we say walked. We write it W-A-L-K-E-D, but we say walked. And cook ends in a K sound too, so we say cooked. The ed is almost invisible. It's just a little T at the end.
Walked, cooked. I hear it now. It's very light.
Very light. Sound number 2 is the D sound, a soft D. This happens when the verb ends in a voiced sound, like B, G, Z, N, L, M, and all vowel sounds. So play ends in the vowel sound A, and we say played. And love ends in a V sound, and we say loved. Played, loved, cleaned, called, all end with that D sound.
Played, loved. Okay, I can feel the difference. The T is harder and the D is softer.
Exactly. And now sound number 3. This is the only one that adds an actual extra syllable to the word. It sounds like id, like the word ID. This happens when a verb already ends in a T or D sound. So take the verb want. If you said want, that would be impossible to pronounce clearly. So instead, we open it up and say wanted, wanted. Two clear syllables.
Wanted, needed. Start becomes started.
Yes, started, two syllables. Start-id. Wait becomes waited. Decide, the base verb ends in D, so it becomes decide-id. This is the one that feels most like a new word because you can truly hear that extra beat.
So to review, walked, that's the T sound. Played, that's the D sound. Wanted, that's the ID sound with two syllables.
Perfect. And here's my tip for beginners. Don't try to memorize the rules at first. Just listen. Listen to native speakers and you'll naturally start to hear which sounds belong where. And to help you, we've put that ED sound chart on your screen right now. Screenshot it. Put it on your phone. It is your new best friend.
I wish I had had that chart when I was a beginner. It would have saved me so much confusion.
It really is a game changer. Okay, so that's the regular past. Beautiful, logical, and consistent. But, Abel, you mentioned earlier that you sometimes make mistakes when talking about the past.
Oh yes, more mistakes than I'd like to admit.
Because English, as wonderful as it is, has rebels, rule breakers, verbs that refuse to follow the ED system. And that brings us to segment 2, the irregular rebels.
The irregular rebels. I feel personally attacked by this name because I have fought with these verbs my whole learning journey.
So let me set the scene. Abel, I want you to pretend you are telling me about your childhood. Just start talking. Tell me something you did when you were young.
Okay. When I was little, I goed to my grandmother's house every summer.
Goad. Okay, I love this. Stop right there.
Was that wrong?
Goad is a very logical mistake. You followed the rule. You added ed. But go is an irregular verb. It doesn't follow the rule. The past tense of go is went. Completely different. You just have to know it.
Went. I went to my grandmother's house every summer. Okay, I went. Went. Got it. Let me try again. When I was there, I seed the ocean for the first time.
You're doing this on purpose.
I promise I'm not.
Seed, again, very logical thinking, Abel, but seed is also irregular. The past tense of see is saw, S-A-W. I saw the ocean. Short, simple, and completely different from see.
I saw the ocean for the first time. Wow. Saw. Okay. I saw the ocean for the first time, and I was so excited that I eated a whole ice cream cone on the beach.
Abel, eated?
That's not right either, is it?
The verb eat is irregular. The past tense is ate, A-T-E. I ate a whole ice cream cone. Just ate.
I ate a whole ice cream cone. That sounds so much more natural. Ate, one syllable, clean and simple.
Isn't it interesting? Eat has 3 letters and ate has 3 letters, but they look and sound completely different. That's the charm and the challenge of irregular verbs.
Okay, one more. I remember that summer my grandmother's cat halved a litter of kittens.
Halved. And this is one of the most important irregular verbs in all of English. Have. Its past tense is had. H-A-D. The cat had a litter of kittens.
The cat had a litter of kittens. Had. Okay, so went, saw, ate, had. These are 4 I need to memorize immediately.
Absolutely. And those 4, went, saw, ate, had, they come up in conversation every single day. Mastering those 4 alone will make a huge difference. Here's what I always tell my students. You cannot derive irregular verbs from a formula. They live in your memory. The only way to learn them is through repetition and exposure. Read, listen, speak, and over time, they become automatic.
Like muscle memory.
Exactly, like muscle memory. And the good news, there are only about 100 truly high-frequency irregular verbs in English. It sounds like a lot, but you probably already know many of them. Come, came, get, got, do, did, make, made, Buy, bought, take, took, think, thought.
Thought, that one always gets me. Think becomes thought with a TH and then suddenly an OUGH?
English spelling is its own adventure. But yes, think, thought. And in real conversation, you'll hear them so often that your brain just absorbs them. Okay, so now we've covered the regular past and the irregular rebels. Let's move to something a little more advanced, but very useful. And honestly, this is one of my favorite grammar tools for storytelling. Segment 3, the used to trick.
Oh, I love used to. This one changed how I told stories.
Used to is a special phrase we use to talk about habits, routines, or states that were true in the past but are no longer true now. It's not just about what happened once, it's about what used to happen regularly or what used to be true about your life.
Can I give an example from my own life?
Please do.
Okay, so when I was in university, I used to have very long hair, like down to my shoulders. And now, as you can see, I keep it quite short.
Perfect example. I used to have long hair. That tells us two things at once. First, that having long hair was your normal state for a period of time, not just one day. And second, that it is no longer true. You don't have long hair now.
And it sounds so much more natural than saying, in the past, I had long hair many times. Used to packages all of that up in a neat little phrase.
Exactly. It is an incredibly efficient phrase. Let me give you the structure. Used to plus the base form of the verb. The infinitive, no changes. I used to have. I used to live. I used to eat. The main verb stays in its simplest form.
Another one from my life, I used to live in a big city. I grew up in the capital, actually. Very busy, very loud. And then I moved to a smaller town, and now I love the quiet.
Beautiful. I used to live in a big city. Present tense, you live in a small town. Past habit, you used to live somewhere different. This is perfect storytelling language.
And I used to wake up very early for work, like 5 in the morning. I had a job that started at 6 a.m. Now I work from home, so I used to wake up at 5, but now I sleep until 7 or 8.
Big lifestyle upgrade. And notice how Abel naturally compared the past and the present there. That's what used to does. It invites contrast. I used to do X, but now I do Y. That structure alone will make your English sound incredibly natural and fluent.
What about questions? How do you ask someone about their past habits?
Great question. You would say, did you used to? Notice, in a question, it becomes used to without the D. Did you used to play a sport? Did you used to live near here? The did carries the past tense, so the main phrase becomes used to.
Did you used to live far from here, Anna?
I did, actually. I used to live in a completely different country, but that's a story for another episode. Okay, and what about the negative? I didn't used to like coffee. Same idea. Didn't carries the past, so it's used to, no D.
I didn't used to like vegetables when I was a kid. Now I love them.
A classic. Every adult has that story. Okay, let's do a quick recap before we go into our final, most fun segment. So far today, we've covered the regular past with the ED rule and its 3 sounds, t, d, and id. We've covered irregular verbs, went, saw, ate, had, got, made, fell, met, brought, found, drank, slept, thought. And we've just explored used to for past habits and states that have changed. Are you with us? If you've made it this far, you are genuinely building your English foundation right now. Don't stop.
Seriously, pause the video if you need to. Take notes, rewatch any section. This is your learning journey, and there's no rush.
Perfectly said. Okay. Last segment, and this one is interactive. We are going to need you, the viewer, to participate. This is the Storytelling Challenge.
Here's how this works. Abel and I are going to co-create a short story together about a great weekend, and at certain moments we're going to pause, and we want you, the viewer, to think of the correct past tense form of the verb before we say it. Don't worry, we'll give you time. 8 seconds. So get ready to think.
This is like a little quiz, but a fun one, and it uses everything we've learned today. Regular verbs, irregular verbs, and maybe even a little used to.
Okay, Abel, let's tell this story together. You start. All right, so last weekend was fantastic. It all started on Friday evening. After work, I went straight home.
Good. Went. That's your irregular verb. And when he got home?
When I got home, I was really tired, but I was also really hungry, so I opened the fridge and I decided to cook.
Ooh, and what did you cook?
I cooked my grandmother's pasta recipe. It's the best one I know. I chopped the vegetables, I boiled the water, I stirred the sauce for 20 minutes.
I can picture this. Okay, viewers, here's your first challenge. The verb is smell. How do you say the pasta smelled amazing in the past tense? Think. The pasta smelled. S-M-E-L-L-E-D. Smell is a regular verb, so we add ed. And because it ends in an L sound, a voiced sound, the ed ending uses the d sound. Smelled.
The pasta smelled incredible. I ate the whole bowl by myself, and I was not sorry about it at all. After dinner, I sat on my couch and I watched a movie.
Watched. There's a great regular verb. Watch ends in a chif sound, voiceless, so the ed ending makes the t sound, watched. We write watched, but say watched.
I watched a really old film, a classic from the 1970s, and I fell asleep before it finished.
Fell. Perfect irregular verb. The base form is fall, and the past tense, fell. F-E-L-L. I fell asleep on the couch. That happens to all of us.
Every weekend, honestly. Okay, so Saturday morning, I woke up feeling great. I made some coffee, and then I called my best friend.
Called. Regular verb. Call ends in an L sound, voiced, so the ed ending is the d sound. Called. Called.
I called him, and we made a plan. We decided to spend the whole day outside, so we met at the park at 10 in the morning.
Met. Irregular. The base form is meet. Past tense is met. M-E-T. Very short, very clean. We met at the park. And viewers, here comes challenge number 2. The verb is bring. My friend came to the park and brought. How do you say the past tense of bring? Take your 8 seconds. My friend brought a football. B-R-O-U-G-H-T. Bring is irregular. Bring, brought. The spelling changes completely, and so does the pronunciation. It rhymes with caught and thought. Brought.
He brought a football, and we played for hours. We ran around the whole park. We laughed so much. And then we got very hungry again.
Always back to the food. Okay, challenge number 3. The verb is find. We found a small cafe near the park. How do you say find in the past tense? We found a small cafe. F-O-U-N-D. Find is irregular. Find, found, found.
And we sat down outside. The weather was beautiful. The sun was shining. We ordered sandwiches and more coffee. Challenge 4. The verb is drink. We drank our coffee slowly and enjoyed the afternoon. Past tense of drink. We drank our coffee. D-R-A-N-K. Drink is irregular. Drink, drank. I drank, you drank, we drank.
And then in the evening, what happened?
In the evening, we went to a small concert in the city. A local band was playing in the square. It was completely free.
I love a free concert. Challenge 5. The verb is enjoy. We really enjoyed the music. Past tense of enjoy. We enjoyed the music. E-N-J-O-Y-E-D. Enjoy is a regular verb. Enjoy ends in a vowel sound, so the ed ending makes the d sound. Enjoyed. We really enjoyed the concert.
And I used to go to concerts all the time when I was younger. Did you notice that? Used to go. Past habit, I don't go as often now.
Perfect, Abel. You just slipped a used to right into our story. Very natural.
Thank you. Okay, so the concert ended around 10 p.m. My friend and I said goodbye. I walked home slowly. I wanted to enjoy the night air.
Challenge 6. The verb is think. On the walk home, I thought about what a wonderful day it was. Past tense of think? I thought. T-H-O-U-G-H-T. Think is irregular. Think, thought. One of the trickiest spellings in English, but a very important verb.
I thought about the day. I smiled to myself, and I went to bed happy. Challenge 7. The verb is sleep. I slept really well that night. Past tense of sleep? I slept really well. S-L-E-P-T. Sleep is irregular. Sleep, slept. I slept like a rock, as we say in English.
I slept like a rock. Beautiful expression. And on Sunday?
Sunday was quieter. I stayed home. I read a good book.
Challenge 8, and our final one. The verb is read. This one is actually a trick. I read a good book. The past tense of read, what do you think? 8 seconds. The past tense of read is also read. But, and this is very important, the pronunciation changes. The base form is read, said like the color red. Read, but the past tense is spelled the same, R-E-A-D, but pronounced red, like the color. I read a good book yesterday. It's spelled the same, but sounds different. This is one of the trickiest verbs in English.
That one surprised me when I first learned it. How can the same word have two different pronunciations for two different tenses? English.
English, but once you know it, you know it. I read a lot. Present. I read all weekend. Past. Same spelling, different sound.
So our weekend story is complete. Let me recap all the past tense verbs we used. Went, cooked, smelled, ate, watched, fell asleep, woke up, made, called, met, brought, played, ran, found, drank, enjoyed, thought, slept, and read.
What a list! And look at that, a beautiful mix of regular and irregular verbs, all in the past tense, all in the context of a real, natural story. That is exactly how your brain learns best, in context, in stories.
Not from a list on a page, from a real moment, a real memory, a real experience.
Exactly. Okay, beautiful people, let's wrap up today's episode with a full review of everything we covered, because today was actually quite dense, in the best way.
We started with the regular past tense, the ED rule. You add ED to regular verbs to make them past tense, and that ED has 3 sounds. T, as in walked, D, as in played, and id, as in wanted. Screenshot that chart if you haven't already.
Then we met the irregular rebels, verbs that refuse to follow the rule. High-frequency ones you absolutely must know. Went, saw, ate, had, got, made, fell, met, brought, found, drank, slept, thought, and slept.
Then we learned the used to trick, a powerful phrase for talking about past habits and states that are no longer true. I used to have long hair. I used to live in the city. Did you used to like vegetables? I didn't used to wake up early.
And we finished with the storytelling challenge, where you participated in creating a story using all of these tools together. If you got even a few of those verb challenges right, be proud of yourself. Seriously.
You are building real English fluency right now, not just memorizing, actually using the language.
And that is the whole mission of the English journey, to take you from memorizing to communicating, from knowing rules to telling stories, from studying to actually living in English.
If this episode helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help other learners find this channel. And leave us a comment below. Tell us one thing you used to do that you don't do anymore. Practice your used to right there in the comments section.
We will read every single comment. And if you want to continue the journey, our next episode is all about questions, how to ask and answer in the past tense. Where did you go? What did you see? Who did you meet? All coming up next.
Until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and remember,
every expert was once a beginner. This is the English journey, and we are so glad you're on it with us.
See you in the next one. Goodbye.